Hey kids, we're in Psalm 36 today, and Psalm 36 is a really great psalm, and it has 4 parts, okay? And I'm just gonna tell you about those 4 parts in about 5 minutes, okay? So that first part, this is the first 4 verses of this psalm, David is talking about the wicked. He's talking about people who put themselves first. They don't fear God, they don't have the fear of God before their eyes, instead they put themselves before their eyes, and they think, I'm really important. It's all about me. What I want, what I desire, I'm gonna get. So he spends some time, he talks about that, okay? About people who put themselves first. But David doesn't wanna be like that. He doesn't wanna put himself in front of his face and focus on himself. Instead, David wants to focus on God. And so he spends 3 sections talking about the steadfast love of God. And so you can see it. He says this in verse 5, he says, see if you can hear the word again and again. Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens. Verse 7, how precious is your steadfast love, O God. And then again in verse 10, oh, continue your steadfast love to those who know you. So steadfast love, steadfast love, steadfast love. And so what does David want us to think about God's steadfast love? Well, the first thing is he wants us to declare it. He wants us to celebrate it everywhere we see it. And he highlights that it's everywhere in nature. He talks about it's in the heavens, it's in the clouds, it's in the mountains, it's in the oceans. Wherever you go in creation, God's steadfast love is there. God is the one who's upholding it. So right now you could walk outside and you could see, I wonder what you could see at your house. Like you might be able to see some squirrels. At my house, there's lots of squirrels, lots of chipmunks, lots of ants. Okay, there's some wasps sometimes, but there's lots of creatures walking around. And David looks at that and he says, man, God's steadfast love is everywhere in this creation. That's just in your house. Like if you were to see all those animals in your house, but that's happening everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world, God's steadfast love and his faithfulness and his righteousness and his wisdom, all of these are displayed in all of the things that he's made, from the heavens all the way down to the bottom of the oceans. And then David first says, your steadfast love, God, is everywhere in creation. But then he says, and what's even better is your steadfast love is precious to me because I can seek refuge in you. I can run to you when I'm scared. I can run to you when I'm in trouble. I can run to you when I'm afraid, and you'll protect me. You'll hide me in the shadow of your wings. And not just hide me, but your steadfast love means you're gonna satisfy me. Like you've all probably been hungry. I'm betting everyone listening here has been hungry and you've been thirsty and you've wanted to fill your belly and quench your thirst. And what David says is, God, you do that for my soul. That's what your steadfast love does. Your steadfast love means you feast me, you give me all of the soul satisfaction I need, and you quench my thirst, and you give me a drink from your own joy. And so, Lord, your steadfast love is precious, it's valuable, and I love it. So first David says, I want to just declare it. It's everywhere. And then he says, and it's precious to me. And then the last thing David prays is continue your steadfast love to those who know you. So don't just do it out there in the world with all the squirrels and the chipmunks. And don't just do precious things for me in the past, but keep it coming, Lord. Keep your steadfast love coming. Continue it to me. Give it to me again, day after day after day after day. And this is what David does. David wants, he takes these 4 steps and he says, this is what the wicked do. They put themselves in front of their eyes. So all they can see is themselves. Like putting a mirror, they just look in the mirror and see themselves. And David wants to say, I don't want to look at myself. I want to look at God. I want to see God, and I want to see him in creation, and I want to treasure him and be satisfied in him, and then I'm going to come back to him day after day after day and seek satisfaction and ask for him to give me more and more and more of his steadfast love.